It's stuck in the mail, episode 52. Today we are talking about Body Talk by the Swedish singer, songwriter, and icon, Robyn. Dear listener, you probably know Robyn from the 90s, from the song Show Me Love. That was how I first encountered her music. I bought her CD, and it was kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. Um, I don't think yeah, I remember it's very 90s R&B. Like it's very TLC. Um there's probably too many songs on it. It was kind of a product of the CD era where it just was jam-packed with too many songs. But and this is the thing about Robyn, there was something very genuine and very human about her, and there's a real depth of emotion in her voice that just sort of captivated me. So, Casey, did you have any experience with Robyn prior to this?
I don't think so at all, but it's interesting to note that this is the second Scandinavian artist we've had on the pod
That's true. We talked about Gudrid Hansdottir not too long ago from
of
the
the
fair.
Faroe Islands, which,
Yeah.
yeah.
So and now in 2026, at the timing of filming this episode, Robyn is about to drop her first album in 8 years. So it's very possible, Casey, that she's about to have another cultural moment. So um, her new song "Dopamine" is already out. Very good.
Yeah, I think you might be right there, Mike. Honestly, I do. She's good.
She's quite beloved and quite critically acclaimed, as it turns out. There's just something about Robyn. I think that it's very interesting to kind of go back and think. So if she first came out in the 90s, like what has happened in the 30 years in between? Well, a lot. I would say that Robyn has had one of the most interesting and satisfying careers in pop music. So you might be thinking, why does a 40 something year old guy like me love Robyn's music so much? Well, it's like I told you before, it's about the depth of emotion. It's ear candy, it's fun to listen to, mixed with melancholy. Um, I would say that at first her songs seem lightweight until you pay attention to the depth of the lyrics. And I would say especially it's her open-hearted performance that uh, again, it's captivating. So, um,
Definitely, I 100% agree with everything that Mike just said. She is an artist. You know, every artist that is they also become besides becoming an artist. If you're going to become like a pop celebrity, you have to have your time. And an artist spotlight is sometimes later in their career. It's not always when they start. It's not always that first song, that first album, that first 45 single for you kids out there.
and in Robyn's case, I think she's getting better and better as time goes on, which is really,
Yeah.
really special. So,
Well,
going back to the beginning, Robyn Carlson was born in Stockholm in 1979. So, she is our age, which is cool. Her parents led an independent theater group, so she grew up around the arts, which that appears to have influenced her sense of fashion, her self-expression. She recorded some songs for like Swedish TV as a young teenager, like theme songs for TV shows. And apparently, she was discovered by the Swedish pop star Meja when Meja visited Robyn's school. And so she was like, "Oh,
hmm.
I found this amazing vocalist," and so kind of got her involved with Robyn signed with RCA Records. And here's where this gets
Wow.
interesting for me. So she began to work with the future mega producer, the Swedish mega producer Max Martin and
Hmm.
Dennis Pop. Now, if those names sound familiar, Max Martin went on to write massive hits specifically for the Backstreet Boys and Britney Spears.
Hmm.
Like you have to remember that this
Okay.
was happening in the late 90s, like right as the world was poised for the explosion of teen pop, TRL. That whole thing was like 5 years off. And
Hmm.
Max Martin
That's
apparent
that's very interesting.
Yeah, and Max Martin apparently was just getting started. Like this is one of the first things he worked on. And so
Hmm.
this album, I believe, came out in Sweden first, like in '95, but it wasn't until '97 that Robyn really took off in the US. And so she had two huge singles in '97, which is Show Me Love and Do You Know What It Takes. These songs, I believe, were on the radio, but I was trying to think about how I came across this music, Casey. I think this is what
Yeah.
happened. In the summer of '97, I was working at Walmart in Ukiah. It
There we
was
go.
not
Shout out.
this was not a good summer for me, but I would work until late at night. I would work from like 2 to 11 p.m. And then I would come home at midnight and I would watch MTV2 because that's what was like the new thing at the time was MTV2. So I'm
Yep. Yep.
thinking that is where I must have seen Robyn's videos and I must have been like, you know what? I like this. Probably bought it at Walmart on my shift and like didn't tell anyone.
Right. Yeah. No, that does make sense.
So Robyn had this big like she had a fast start. Like she got very popular very quickly. You have to remember this was
Well, she it,
pre Britney Spears,
can I
pre Christina Aguilera. Yes, please.
if she was picked by that lady in Sweden and then put up with that producer who went on to do Britney Spears and all that, she was originally picked to be a pop star.
Correct. That is
You
what I'd like to get into here.
for sure, for
I
sure.
I think there is an alternate timeline in which Robyn would have become Britney Spears, would have had the song Hit Me Baby One More Time. That came very close to being Robyn's song.
Right, right.
So it's kind of crazy. But what actually happened is Robyn burnt out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Apparently, she returned to Sweden from exhaustion. I mean, who wouldn't? Her second album, My
Culture
True
shock. It was probably culture shock.
Culture Shock, absolutely. Um, her second album is called My Truth, and it's very autobiographical to the point of I want to handle this with sensitivity, but Robyn shared two songs on that second record about having an abortion. The songs are Giving You Back and Universal Woman. And I think that the US label didn't want to touch it for that reason. Um,
Probably not.
and so it appears that it's a combination of that whole thing that happened and her exhaustion from being overseas and
Mm.
the cycle of the promotion of her album and everything must have just,
Yeah.
destroyed her in a sense. And it appears that she was, in a sense, exiled back to Sweden because of her personal journey, even after
Mm.
that initial wave of success. And again, right before teen pop was exploding in the US.
Hmm. Hmm. That's all pretty interesting stuff, Mike, that I definitely didn't know. I haven't really done any deep research on this at all. But yeah, I'm
Well,
sure that's a huge factor, if not everything, really. Just even so, artists in Europe will commonly write and sing in English, especially Scandinavian, where it's very common to learn English, and can speak it really well and pass as an English speaker, even if they're good enough.
right,
But it's a big cultural shock, not just the climate, but most of Scandinavia has a much higher standard of living
right.
um, than here in America.
And there's some language barrier, like charming instances of the language barrier in the lyrics, even in Max Martin songs. I mean, everyone talks about I Want It That Way and how the lyrics don't make any sense. Um,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
let me share this from Wikipedia. It's via The Guardian, so this is very interesting. When Robyn turned down Jive Records' attempt to sign her in the United States, let me read that again. Turned down Jive Records' attempt to sign her.
Mhm.
The label shifted their focus to a young artist named
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears, with the head of Jive calling Spears an American Robyn, a Europop
Yeah.
teen queen with an added dash
Wow.
of girl next door. Martin ended up producing much of Spears' debut album, Baby One More Time, and she was seen as, quote, easier to control than the forceful Swedish teenager.
Hmm. Ah. Yikes.
So, yes,
Wow.
in an alternate timeline, Robin could have been Britney. Baby One
Hmm.
More Time could have been her song, her breakthrough, but
Hmm.
Britney had the American Girl Next Door thing, and Robin has always had, I would argue, a very European sensibility. It's just that her early music sounded like she was trying to make American R&B, and part like it's okay but not great. I would argue Robin didn't truly become great until she leaned into what made her who she is, which is electropop, Europop, club music.
I think you said my first thoughts when you told me, Robin. I was like, even upon hearing it, I was like, okay, so is this someone who won the Eurovision? It's dance. It's I would refer to it first and foremost, body talk here, as dance music.
Yep.
And explicitly there's several tracks that are what is it? 4 beats per bar. 4 on the 4 is what they call it in some soul circles.
Yep.
So, it's got a simple anyone can dance to it is what they say in the DJing world, but then also it's got those 16th notes, and when you have that, it takes a very, 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 very like serious wallflower to not start moving your body.
Yep. Interesting choice of words with Wallflower because that's kind of previewing her biggest song in terms of the topic. But I will get to
Yep.
body talk, I promise. So let me go back, rejoin the timeline here. So interestingly, Robin did end up signing with Jive Records in 2001, just before it was acquired by BMG. So it's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
She rejected Jive and then she signed to Jive. I don't quite understand that whole thing, but
Mm-hmm.
um, so she had that album My Truth, and she also had an album called Don't Stop the Music. I would say both are okay, but kind of forgettable R&B pop. Neither one of those, I don't think, was released in the US at all. But really, truly, again, Robin, I would say self-actualized, became a true artist in her electropop era. So she started,
Mm-hmm.
her first electropop song was called Who's That Girl? And it's on her self-titled album. Well, the label didn't like it. They were like, this doesn't sound like TLC. This doesn't sound like Britney and Christina. So guess
Mm-hmm.
what Robin did? She left the label to start her own record label, Konichiwa Records. Did you know about this?
Wow. Way ahead of the curve because that's what everyone does now. But wow, when is this again?
2005.
Yeah, that's way. I mean, that's like the birth of like streaming and the internet as we know it today. Am I not correct on that?
Yep. Basically,
That's
she took
strong.
control of her own career, and I love this
Wow.
about her.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
she released a pointedly self-titled album in 2005 on her own label, and this song, the Robin album, it did pretty well internationally. There were some hits on it, Be Mine, With Every Heartbeat. Still didn't I didn't know about it in the US, but apparently it was a big moment internationally. She even sang on, do you know Britney Spears' song Piece of Me? You Want a Piece of Me? She sang on that
I do
song.
not.
So
Oh,
it's
nice, nice. That
kind
makes
of full
sense.
circle. It's not like she has animosity toward Britney. It's just interesting. Um, but
Mm-hmm,
that brings
mm-hmm.
us to Robin's most prolific year, the year 2010, with her creative and critical Euro electropop masterpiece, Body Talk.
Boom. But isn't there something funny going on originally? Isn't it like a couple EPs or something?
Yes, so 3 EPs. So this is super interesting. First of all, when I say critically acclaimed, this album is number 196 on Rolling Stone's top 500 of all time. This album, Body
Woo!
Talk. And yes, originally it was 3 EPs, and the official album was kind of compiled from songs from all 3 of these EPs. So it's like Body Talk Part One,
Mm-hmm,
Body
mm-hmm.
Talk Part Two, Body Talk
Yeah.
Part Three. Um, I think that Part Three is probably the best, but it's one of these albums where there is no definitive track listing. Like even if you go on Spotify, it's
Right.
different from what's on Wikipedia. So in a sense, it is kind of emblematic of the streaming era of the kind of like build your own album, you know?
The original 45, the RCA Victor 45. You stack them, and that's your album. That's the
Yeah.
original concept, 1949.
And is that not what music has become, you know, where you're
Well,
curating playlists and
yeah. Historically speaking, though, it's kind of gone in waves, though, you know? It kind of changes back and forth.
that is
It
true.
really does.
But in 2010, this was, I mean, there were still CDs in 2010.
Yeah.
So it's an
Oh,
interesting
yeah.
leap
A
for
lot of
her.
CDs. Yeah.
So
When did tangible music disappear?
I'd have to go check my notes on that one. I mean,
Yeah.
I think there were still CDs being sold in Walmart until like 2020, right?
Yeah, but then you'd start to see vinyl come in, and there was more vinyl than CDs. I was like, wow, that's something I never expected to see in my life.
Extremely
Never.
expensive vinyl. Yes.
Yep, yep.
So
People
on
think they're
Body Talk,
calendars. They go, how many months is this calendar?
so Body Talk,
Sorry, continue.
we have to start out with the lead track, the massive mega single Dancing on My Own. Okay. Dancing on My Own. Get this, Casey. What do you think is the ranking on the Rolling Stone greatest songs of all time? It's on the list, but
Really?
Dancing on My Own. It's greatest songs of all time, Rolling Stone. What rank do you think?
Well, it's not my favorite song on the album. Not even on the album. So, Rolling Stones, who knows? Maybe third?
20. Number 20 of all time. Dancing on My Own. Now, I think there's more to this. So it's a great bittersweet anthem of longing, unrequited love. You're watching from the corner. You know, it love
It's a
seems so
Wallflower song.
it's a wallflower song. Love seems so easy for everyone else, right? So it's very relatable.
Yeah.
This has become a club anthem. It has become a queer anthem. I
Yep.
don't totally understand the connection there. Someone else needs to enlighten us on that as to why. Other than the just the genre, right? It's the club genre. Apparently,
I
Robyn.
think the vocals, I think the lyrical content speaks to the queer community too.
Well, it's interesting because we were kind of talking as a family about the lyrics last night because it's, I'm not the guy you're taking home. Like I'm in the corner watching you kiss her.
Hmm. Yep.
Um, like why is it guy? Like it's there's gender con plurality, right? And maybe that's
Yep.
why. But this song could not be a bigger smash. I mean, this song is obviously, I mean, I'm not sure if
It's
I would say
great.
it's,
Do you want to know what I wrote for comparative artists?
please.
This is complimentary. Uh, I think Lady Gaga, specifically her breakout, which is my favorite, Just Dance, which I love and have that album. Pink, but somewhat more for aesthetics and dance ability, as well as like ability to do other things besides just dance.
Yep.
Madonna and Cher in their late era of their careers. Madonna with Ray Light era, and Cher, of course, with the Believe era. Both very later in their life, and that's also a thing that I think Robyn's got going on for her right here. Her
Yep.
spotlight is now, like you said.
Those
So,
are good comparisons. I like the Lady Gaga comparison,
yeah.
especially
Oh, yeah.
as a
For
true
sure.
artist, you know. So listen,
Yes.
here's what
Undeniably, too, right? Like,
right.
at this point, undeniably.
Here's what Rolling Stone said about Dancing on My Own. Swedish disco queen Robyn captured all the agony and ecstasy of twirling alone in a corner of the dance floor, spinning around in circles and losing yourself in the beat for a moment of solitary triumph. I think Dancing on My Own is totally, this is her speaking. I think Dancing on My Own is totally from me just being in clubs, going out and dancing a lot, seeing people and thinking, what are they doing here? She said later. Written with Stockholm producer Patrick Berger, the song made Robyn an iconic cult hero, but it also became the template for a whole generation of young songwriters from Taylor Swift to Lord, looking for the ideal glitter and sobs cocktail. That song to me is perfect, Lord wrote. Joyous,
Mm-hmm.
even when a heart is breaking.
Mm-hmm. So there is another Scandinavian artist on this album that works with Robyn on one track. It's Royskop. They're actually a Norwegian electronic duo,
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned
and
them.
they're on
Yes.
None of Dem. Is it? Do I
Yep.
have that right? None of Dem. Yeah.
Hmm.
And so when I hear this first track, "Dancing on My Own," it honestly sounds like the DJ remix, the dance remix, the house remix, and I'm like, okay, what's the original sound like?
Yeah. She
For
went on to
sure,
do some
taking it
really,
back.
really interesting stuff with Royksop. I probably am mispronouncing that, but they did a whole EP
That's
together
pretty close.
after this.
Hmm.
And
Nice,
yes,
nice.
Norwegian, electronic,
Yep.
really great stuff. I have to say, as I was researching this, literally everything I heard post Body Talk, I love.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, but on
Well,
Body
there's a
Talk,
whole scene of music over there. There's a
yes,
whole scene of music, just like there is everywhere, right? It's
Scandinavian
crazy.
electropop.
Hmm.
So there are a lot of great songs on this album. We're not going to go through them all. It's possibly, arguably, a little overlong. I would drop the Snoop
Yeah.
song. There's a few I would drop. Kind of, there's a couple of filler tracks, but Time Machine was actually written with Max Martin and Shellback, so she reunited with Max Martin after all these years. That's a great one. I would love to
Hmm.
play a clip of my personal favorite song on the album. Do you know what it is?
Call your girlfriend.
Call Your Girlfriend.
Call your girlfriend. It's time you had the talk. Give your reasons. Say it's not her fault. But you just met somebody new.
Okay, this song
Got it.
is irresistible, and there's so much feeling. I would say so much. This is such an interesting song to me because in this song, the narrator has won. She has the guy, she has stolen the guy, but the song is pure sympathy for the person that he's moving on from because she knows how it feels. It's not a triumphant song, it's just a very
Hmm.
human song. It's bittersweet. Essentially, it's we've all been through this. We've all been the one who's been
Mm,
left behind. And it's
for
so
sure.
powerful and deep and oh man, you have to.
You love you. You love yourself some Robin, Mike.
You have listen, if you have not seen the SNL performance of Robyn
I
singing,
have. I have.
I'm
You said
talking to
I've seen
the
it 3 times.
I'm talking to the listener. I know you haven't.
Okay.
I thank you for that.
Okay. Okay.
Please watch the SNL. SNL. I mean, we're talking
Yeah.
millions upon millions of people watching. The dance moves she does in the middle of this song, it's so
Hmm.
incredible. I love the comments. I wrote a couple down. She dances like she's alone in her room.
Hey, there you go.
I love this one. Robyn is what pop should be. 100% fun, 100% art. I know
Yeah.
that I have
Yeah.
talked in very I have talked in very complimentary terms about Taylor Swift on this channel and other artists, but to me, Robyn is another level in terms of pop perfection.
Mike, you're just the pop diva on this show. That's how it's gonna be. Okay.
Let's talk about
I'm
Love
Mister
Kills.
Mister
So
Underground music here.
let's listen to Love Kills.
If you're looking for love, get a heart made of steel, 'cause you know that love kills. Don't go messing with love, it'll hurt you for real. Don't you know that love kills? If you're looking
Okay,
for
as we were comparing notes, this is one that you said was a standout too. What did you like about Love Kills?
I can't hear the beat right now, but do you want to know my favorite track?
Yes,
Sorry to dodge your question.
that's fine.
Indestructible.
ones go by, I'm gonna love you like I've never been hurt before. I'm gonna love you like I'm indestructible. You're
That is my
Okay,
favorite.
that's your favorite.
And I think it's got a little bit of a quicker dance pace to it too, if I'm hearing it right. It does have your classic 4/4 time signature and it's fast. It feels like a DJ track like the first, but I don't know, for me, Dancing on My Own and Call Your Girlfriend for me are a little ho hum compared to Indestructible. I really
Okay.
like this one. This one moves me, and a lot of this album does kind of move me actually physically because I love to dance. And but yeah, Indestructible, it just pumps me up, you know.
It's a good one. It's like a soaring anthem. It's like a Titanium or one of those kind of club
Yeah.
songs.
Yep, exactly. You nailed it. It's almost a ballad of sorts. But Love Kills, I found a little lyrically void, actually. I like the music, but lyrically, I thought it sounded like it ripped off early 90s Ice Cube, actually.
Okay. All right. I like it because of the music. So fair point. I
Yeah,
like that it's a minor key song, which is needed. It's just full
yeah,
of hooks. And I would say this is
yeah,
probably so Robin kind of does dabble in reggae a little bit. And to me, this is the
a
best
little bit.
example of that influence. Like this is where it feels most natural to me. I think this is kind of an underappreciated track, but I really like it.
What What about Dance Hall Queen, which would be the probably the most in
Yeah,
this
I mean,
case?
that's
Dance
what I'm
Hall Reggae Man.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple others on here, but to me, they're not as good. Like, I just think that Love Kills is the best example of it. Um,
There is a real trilogy right there with Love Kills, Hang with Me, which we haven't talked about, and Call Your Girlfriend. That's a nice like 1, 2, 3 punch right there. And Hang
agreed.
with Me, I thought was really lovely, and is a little bit of what I refer to as a half beat to the 4/4. It's a little more has a little more breadth.
I love Hang With Me. What a great song. It's just irresistible. And I like it because it's longing for love as opposed to things going wrong. I like that it's kind of on the front side
Yeah.
of love. And it actually was in a movie that just came out. We were just watching it. It's like People You Meet on Vacation, something like that. Really good romantic comedy. And that song was featured in it. It was really cool. Um, again, Robin's having a cultural moment. I have to highlight one more song on this, and that is Get Myself Together. So this one is kind of buried at the end of the album, and it kind of almost feels like a throwaway at first, but I find it to be one of the most motivating songs I have ever heard. It's about second chances, inspiration. I literally listen to this all the time, Casey. I I I love the line, when this hurt is gone, I've got to get myself together.
Nice. I did not take notes on that one actually, but it's pretty deep in the album there. I didn't care so much for the last two, but I bet it's a good one if Mike likes it. And music's like that; it's very personal. So
It's
if
a
you
very
like it, and that goes with everything, you know.
That's why I like it. It's a very personal song. She's literally talking about her family members. She says, "My mom called me last night. She said, when nothing else fits, pick up the pieces and move on. I saw my brother
Hmm.
last night. He said, I know you too well. You can't pretend that nothing's wrong. I see the fuse that ignites like I'm outside of myself. It's like my mind is gone. One more.
Hmm.
My dad pulled me
Hmm.
aside like when I was a child. He said, I trust you. Decide on what you know is right. And for whatever it's
Hmm.
worth, I'm on your side.
Wow, powerful stuff.
It's
Very
deep,
powerful.
Casey. It doesn't seem like it,
It
but
is.
this is deep music.
Yeah, I mean, it's good when music serves in this case two purposes. It's good dance music which moves people, moves their body, and it doesn't have to be, lyrically devoid like a lot of dance music or more on the
Exactly.
ambient side, which is fine. I like ambient dance music. I think lyrics can really obscure something as pure as dance. But on the other hand, if you want to write good lyrics and put them to the song, So be it. I say do it.
I agree with you completely. So this
Mm-hmm.
is why I love
Mm-hmm.
Body Talk. Again, in going through this project, I literally listened to Robin's entire discography. You
Wow.
mentioned the Royksop EP, "Do It Again."
Mm-hmm.
The song "Monument" on there is really powerful. It's basically saying
Yeah. It's
it's about like what am I leaving behind? I want to leave behind a
mm,
legacy of love. It's deep.
wow. Is it more ambient too by any chance? Just happened to perk my interest.
I wouldn't call it ambient. I would call it fully produced. Like it is some very rich
Okay.
music. Like the musicality of it is very rich. I really enjoyed it.
Inside that I carve, this will be my monument. This will be a beacon when I'm gone, gone, gone. When I'm gone, gone, gone.
But then
Okay.
Robin's album, her next album after this came 8 years later, and that was the album Honey in 2018. This is my
Mm-hmm.
new musical obsession, Honey. Like, don't be
Mm-hmm. I
surprised.
bet.
We may have another
It's
podcast episode coming out soon about Honey because I cannot get
oh
enough of
wow.
that. It's so
Mike
it's a
Mike is challenging Judy Sills running two. The only other artist for two albums. This is apparently going to be Robyn next, so we'll see
I'm
what happens
I'm
there.
just telling you, it's the kind of mature pop that could only come from someone in their 30s, late 30s. Anyway, outstanding. So here's my
Nice.
and of course today we have her new album Sexistential coming out in March.
Yep.
So very soon.
Yes. With some
So
very modern lyrical content.
if I may sum up the Robin story, I would say she could have been a casualty of the music industry because the US wanted nothing to do with her songs about her personal life when things went wrong. But she went independent, she rose above, and she is now more respected and loved than ever.
Wow. Well said. I have learned a lot, Mike. Thank you for that. This has been a good episode. I didn't know what was really coming. When you said Robin, I think you could probably detect some level of, not just a little like, what? Okay, where are
Skepticism.
we going with this?
I
But
get it.
skepticism. Yeah, I was trying to find the word. I was wrangling the word. But yeah, it's really been a great story and an interesting story, and one that has a lot of potential for the current times and for the YouTubes and the algorithms because I think Robin's coming back. So maybe we're on the cutting floor. Maybe we're ahead of everyone here. For real.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Really just love her career, love her music.
Definitely, definitely. And I guess this was episode 52. 53. I was going to springboard off Mike's Robin pick here, and I had several different electronic albums of varying weight and stature in the music society that we all are part of as music lovers. But I think I decided to go with Please the Viewers. Just to be a people pleaser here, we're going to go with what the fans want, which is more Suburban Lawns with Baby, their follow up EP, also on IRS Records.
The legend of
Um,
suburban lawns continues.
yes, that's what the people want, apparently. Everyone loves the Suburban Lawns. I'm not surprised, they're amazing.
I can't wait.
That'll be good.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, Casey. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.